dream of a treasure room worthy of its name in your Minecraft mega base? Or maybe you just want to store your rare items in a not so obvious place. And if you're looking for ideas to build a huge underground vault with automatic storage, immersive vibe and awesome light effects, you are in the right place. I live in a 14,600 days old forever world, and there are always new challenges and projects, big and small, even in my historic mega base. Last month, I took a hollow core in the center of the base to connect all the underground floors, adding also a cute tiny city diorama. The street ends with a black wall. I knew I would have expanded it one day. And that day is now. It's club grinding time, and I need a beacon nearby. And finally, wait a minute, this is not the beacon. Now, this is a beacon. Let's start digging. I spent more than 30 hours in a creative world planning the treasure vault, but let's forget about it and start counting now. It's day 14,650 and I can't wait to start building. Finally, some space to work with. A chest in the center with all my diamonds and we are done. No way. Actually, this is just the entrance and it will be kinda empty. Diamonds and valuables will be in the vault, automatically crafted into blocks. This is gonna be the armory with the netherite and my collection of armor trims. And in there, a secret project that I have in mind for a while. You'll see. It was supposed to be a treasure room, but it turned to be the largest expansion to my base since I built it 4 years ago. It took me more than 30 Minecraft days to gather the materials and set up the sorting system. Everything is ready and I'm eager to start building. I want the whole treasure room to be bathed in a dim light covering everything in a grey, evocative atmosphere. So I will use low-level light sources, not just candles and soul lanterns, but also redstone torches and sea pickles. But they all will be well hidden, don't worry, I got plenty of black carpets to work with. The main hall has a glass floor that allows you to glimpse the lower level. There's a bright external ring covered in honey blocks and glass, while the center is supposed to be rather busy with a funny little redstone contraption we're about to work on. Let's wrap up the lower level before covering it in glass. A railway runs in a circle in the center of the hall, going up and down the surface, but it's not just for fun. Imagine you're a copper golem taking care of the valuable ores and carrying them to this chest. There are hoppers under the chest, but we don't want it to be empty or the golem might get confused. So, first thing first, we need to lock the hopper under the chest, like this. Now, items are not going anywhere, but some of them have to, right? So, place a comparator that comes out of the chest, add the block and get back with redstone dust, like so. Some items will flow down until the hopper is locked again and they will be picked up by the minecart hopper. Let's summon our little helper. Hello buddy, would you stay still so I can make you shiny and wax? It might sound broken. Anyway, the chest is filling with emeralds from the minecart and the golem will be very busy. For like forever. But we need more helpers. So let's set the right mood with some music and give an amethyst shard to our resident allay. I waited for the cool down and bred a second allay, then I sealed everything with a glass floor. Look at the busy guy, he's having the best time of his life. The allays are carrying weapons and tools, as if they were actually walking here. They are slightly glowing even if they don't emit light and really stand out in the dark. And look at the stained glass. Underneath is a layer of honey blocks and soft lights below the lighter blocks to highlight the color change from yellow and orange to magenta. Now let's take care of the rest of the room. Designing the walls is tricky. They are at eye level in a large, empty room, so they need to act as a background, not too noisy, yet still feature architectural details to show a sense of lavishness. Alright, we can work with this. I want large, high arches with smaller ones above. Oh, I love how it's coming out. The lime windows look a bit haunted. And I'm about to add an awesome vaulted ceiling. Hey, can you see me? I'm here in the center. Sorry, it's very dark. For the ceiling, we need to call in the cavalry. Literally. Long story short, if you miss it, the hollow core at the center of my base has a epic gas tunnel. I honestly thought I'd never use it again, but this hall is large and with a high ceiling, so our friend will be very useful. There is a recurring theme in the ceilings of all the halls of the treasure vault. The starry sky simulated with skulk blocks, as if there were windows open to the night sky. I built with the epic gas before, and it's far better than using scaffolding, but man, this ceiling was a pain to build. Clearing the way for the epic gas, I messed up and forgot to pick up a shulker box with deep slate, skulk and other dark blocks. It spawned while I was working on the ceiling, and I had to restock on resources before getting back to work. The skulk ceiling was too dark to be seen from here, so I add the crying obsidian. The light level is right, and I love the purple tears falling on the floor. I added a gradient of purple concrete and blue terracotta around the crying obsidian to make brighter patches and blend it with the skulk. Then I covered most of it with skulk veins. The 3 gates have different colors, so you can easily find your way. Gold is the vault, grey the armory, and orange is, well, it's a work in progress. More about it at the end of this video. Let's give a closer look to the arches. Do you see those tiny pink squares? I used cherry logs. I was going to replace them with wood, but then I realized that the pink corners, ugly in full light, give a sense of depth in low light. So they stay. Anyway, happy gusts are loud, and I brought our friend outside to chill, so it's time to build the proper entrance. This is how to build the simplest piston door, a redstone torch with redstone dust on both sides of the block behind it. Then the sticky pistons right next to the torch. To connect the upper piston, just place a solid block above the redstone torch. Then add a block with a button next to the redstone dust to open the door. The pistons will push black concrete, opening and closing the door, and it's just a matter of covering the redstone bits. Add a button on the other side and you're done. Ouch! Hey! The main hall is done, and it's time to get serious. The vault is the storage room for diamonds, golds and other valuables. Under the glass floor I want a golden decorations. Let's start adding magma blocks to have just enough light to see it. The raw gold blocks create the design of a yellow flower that will be covered with glass. The new sulfur blocks would have been really useful for texturing the petals. What do you think? The vault is the smallest room, and a large part of the space is taken up by the sorting and crafting system. Ingots and diamonds will get in and will be sorted and stored in blocks to save space. I really love the golden sunflower under the floor, and in the corner there is horn coral with water underneath to keep it alive and golden, the thematic color of the room. In the private gallery, there's the dragon head, a couple of paintings and map arts, and the Mona Lisa couldn't be missing. Yup, the one in the Louvre is a fake. The real one is here in my vault. And this is a birch trapdoor, by the way, perfect to act as a canvas. Here is where I show off my notch apples. I guess I will find more, and regular golden apples too. But let's put on the funny part of the vault with the sorter autocrafters. This is a classic T-shaped sorter, you all know. Let me set the filter right. We will need 41 items and 4 renamed blocks. See, this is not a rack. Funny, right? Alright, the items carried by the water stream will be selected by the filter and end up in a crafter, like this. Now all we need is two observers facing each other, one under the crafter, and that's the second one. Now the crafter lights are flashing, it means it's ready to craft the emerald blocks whenever there are enough emeralds. The blocks will end up here and I will build more sorter autocrafters for the raw gold and raw iron. And I know, raw iron is not valuable, but it is for me because it's very important for map arts. On this side of the walls, we will have more sorters. The diamond block autocrafter will be identical to the emerald one. The deep slate diamonds doesn't need a crafter, while the gold, well, it's a bit more complicated. So, welcome to the Creative Lab, everybody! This is the basic sorter autocrafter I showed you before. It crafts block from single elements, emeralds, diamonds, ingots, you name it. From 9 items to a block. Simple as that. But I want to sort both nuggets and ingots and store only blocks. Needless to say, the new design will work for iron and copper too. Let's talk about the compact autocrafter we built before. It's always activated by the double observer pulsar. It's okay to craft nuggets into ingots, but it can't be used for ingots, because one ingot will be immediately turned into nuggets. That's the opposite of what we want to achieve. We need a more sophisticated system, not a continuous pulsar, but something that activates the crafter only when it's filled. Now, I'm about to explain some basic functionality and many of you might find it boring, but I guess some of you might see it as interesting. And I don't like to say, please repeat that because I say so. Alright, the crafter emits a redstone signal from 0 to 9, depending on how many slots are filled. One slot locked, power 1, reaches only the first piston. It doesn't matter if the slot is locked or occupied by an item, and it's not about the order. As you can see now, it emits a signal of 3. Thanks to this, we can tell when a crafter is filled, when emits a signal of 9. Let's read the signal with a comparator and place another comparator to compare the signal, hence the name, I guess. On this side, we need something on power 9. There are many blocks that does that, but I like to use another crafter with all the slots locked. Bring the signal from the first comparator back to our crafter. Drum roll, please. And there it is. Now that we have a plan, let's build a sorter autocrafter. I added a second sorter module. The first one sorts nuggets. The new one is for ingots. Add a temporary block. It's aligned to the first crafter. Then use it to place a crafter facing outwards. Remove the temporary block and place the upper instead, going into the crafter. Now we will build the same contraction I showed you before, just in a different shape. Create a platform like this and place the comparator coming out of the main crafter with redstone dust. Then the second crafter with the slots locked and its comparator that is turned on. The redstone signal has to circle back to the main crafter, create this shape, and cover the blocks and the main crafter with redstone dust. Beware, this has to be a slab because a full block will cut the line of redstone. Please pause and verify. Last touch. The crafter that makes ingots out of nuggets must be facing this direction, connected with another upper so the ingots will feed the main crafter. Quick recap. The left filter is for nuggets and the crafter facing to the right is crafting ingots. Let's add some. The right filter is for ingots and it goes into the more complicated autocrafter. The nuggets become ingots and we have gold blocks. Now add a barrel or more and that's done. And don't forget to leave a like if you find the tutorial useful. Let's get back to the survival world. Creative Mima, out! I looked for concept art of underground walls and noticed that the light often comes from above, creating a contrast with the surrounding darkness. So in the vault, I used actual flames on the ceiling for a more eerie touch. Let me show you the block of the crafter we designed in the Creative Lab, with the crafter for nuggets connected to the one for ingots. Gold will be stored in blocks and we can seal the ugly machinery and hopefully never get back here again. Right, these barrels are the overflow. They shouldn't be any, but better safe than sorry. Wow, let's face it, the ceiling with the flames is a bit ominous, but that's the right vibe. Let's move to the other side of the hall, where we're gonna build the armory. The armory is my storage for weapons, tools and armor of every kind. It's a Spartan setting, not so decorated as the vault, but still formal and elegant. The room is still a work in progress and the light is too bright, but here's where I can store all my armor. I won't wear any of them, but I use them as a decoration. I've already moved all the diamond ones here, and I'm working on the gold ones. The shelves at the bottom show what's inside the barrels, and as you can see, I mixed chainmail armor with stone tools and leather armor with wooden tools. I know netherite is missing, but it will have its spot in the next section of the armory with all the armor trims. Now, do you ever feel the urge to add something random and useless in your mega base? Here's what we're about to do. Let me know in the comments if you can relate. First, a crafter with precisely 2 slots locked. A comparator coming from the crafter into a block, and then a calibrated skull sensor facing the same block. With this setting, I can walk and do whatever. The sensor will activate only when I jump. Let's waterlog it so it stays silent. And now if I jump, I turn on the light. Oh, it's so silly. I love it. Let's build a second one on the other side. Let me show you the armory with the right light level. I've already moved all the armor and tools where they belong, but armory is not done yet. We need a place to store the animal armor and my collection of armor trims. Please ignore the psychedelic wall. It's the tunnel for the nether roof portal, and I swear it looks pretty cool when you fly through it at high speed. But you won't see it from the armory, it will be covered. I wanted the next section of the armory to have a different vibe, so I changed the palette from red to cyan. I decorated the floor and gave it a busy look, almost messy. Let me give you a sneak peek of the armor, even if it's not done yet. I like the flames, but I didn't want the light, so I covered all of them with tinted glass. You can see them, but they don't mess with the light levels. On the left wing, there's the storage for more weapons and tools, including tridents and backup elytras. Then, all the mob armor and saddles. The right wings host my netherite stash, which is not much honestly, but this is mostly a smithing template lab. I have all the armor trims with the blocks to duplicate them. And on the opposite side, the trim materials for the color. The ceiling of the side wings is similar to that of the first room, with barrel walls and skulk blocks, while for the central area I built the eye dome in light blue glass and quartz bricks, very bright. You've already seen the armory's main features, but let me show you the final result. The central room is high and bright, as if it looked out onto the sky, but it's actually just made of sea lanterns and light blue glass. I'm very pleased with the play of light I used on the sides. There's magma behind the walls, barely visible from below, which highlights the arch. And above it, a redstone torch is hidden under the Oni block, which is why the glazed terracotta decoration can be fully appreciated from below. I like to play with the vanilla graphics, but this is how the glass floor looks with a continuity mod. And hope, it never gets old! It's been 86 Minecraft days, and the treasure room could be considered complete, but there's much more to Minecraft than diamonds and cool armor templates. There are rare items, and most of all, there are stories. The stories of a forever world. And this is what this empty space will hold. It won't be just a trophy room, but a chronological museum to testimony the story of a 4-year-old Minecraft Forever world. Enjoy a little sneak peek and maybe subscribe, or you might miss it. Thank you for watching, and see you soon!